I remember meeting Madonna for the first time, and somebody said, "Oh, hey, I've got Madonna for you on the line," and I thought it was one of the girls sticking around, and I was like, "Yeah," and she went, "Hey, sweetie."
Let's talk about Pop-Tarts. Melanie launched her solo career in the late 90s with her debut solo album, Northern Star, which sold 4 million copies worldwide. She's even been on tour with Sync the Pink. She's really done it all. Hi, babe.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Oh, muy bien. Literally, it was a year ago that we were together. We were in Australia this time last year.
I know.
And
that was
we had such grand plans, didn't we?
We did. Oh my goodness, we did. And that was kind of, I hold those memories so dear, not only because whenever I'm with you beautiful girls, we have so much fun, but it was our last taste of normality. If you can call performing. I know. It was Brisbane, wasn't it?
Big gay day, I want to say.
Big gay day. Yeah. So it's a year ago. A lot's happened since then.
Exactly. A lot has happened.
Even more special because it's like the last time we were up there doing our thing.
I know, exactly. And well, actually, I feel like you did a really good job at transitioning almost flawlessly to online stuff because like almost really quickly you were just in there doing like your Q&As and everything. So like, massive round of applause to you for adapting so quickly to all of that. And
well, thank you. It was like my head was spinning because, you know, the record was coming and I left you guys, you know, we said goodbye in Australia. I went off to LA and like everything was closing down and the borders were closing everywhere. And I was like, I've got to get home. So yeah, it was like, wow, what are we going to do? And it was probably the first time ever I really embraced social media. And it was such a positive thing, you know, not only for the record, but for me personally and like for my mental health. It really helped keeping me connected, kept me sane.
As a little bit of a MELANIE C fan myself, I'm also loving your work, darling.
Well, I think the worst thing about this album is like we can't dance on dance floors to it yet, and we've had some great remixes, and it's just so weird, you know. Right now, I'd be preparing to tour. We'd be booking festivals for the summer.
Very critically acclaimed. People are saying that it's your best work in years, and that's great. And I agree to a certain extent. But I just want to say, some people maybe haven't been paying attention because I think that Miss MELANIE C, that's got 8 albums. It's full of amazing stuff. Your career is so amazing. And so just thank you for the next step on the journey. I really love Touch Me. I know it's a secret extra one on the deluxe. It's so good. I love it.
Right? I was in the studio and we were talking about the deluxe version of the album. And I was like, I'd really love to cover like a banging old like house tune that I used to rave to back in the day. Literally. And so many of them have been done. And this is one of my faves, and I've like played it in my DJ sets a lot. And like, we were searching up Spotify and having a look around, and I was like, I can't believe like no one's like really done like a more, you know, recent take on this.
Yeah.
So so we did it, and I loved it, and I can't wait to do that live as well.
I can't wait for you to do that live. I'll literally be like moshing when that's happening. First of all, we know that we couldn't start, you know, Pop-Tarts without having family, and you are of course our drag family.
I've got my t-shirt on.
Yes, amazing. But actually, really, like, you have always been a bit of an LGBT icon, like, even just from the Spice Girls, then in your solo career, you've been, like, there for the LGBT community. Like, how does it feel to, like, sort of be adopted into the LGBTQ plus community?
Don't make me start crying on the first question. Well, you know, I spoke, you know, really candidly to you guys about how I felt. Because I think a lot about being a Spice Girl, it's taken me a long time to kind of feel like I have any, I don't know, like, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, that I want to say that you're to blame. Blame isn't the right word, but to say that you're, do you know what I mean? It's like, because the Spice Girls is such a huge entity on its own, to feel responsible for it as a singular person is like really weird. And I always felt in the band that there was much bigger characters than me, and maybe people who were much more appealing to, you know, certain parts of the LGBT plus community. And it wasn't really until I worked with Sink the Pink that I realized, you know, you were like shouted at me and put me up on my pedestal, and you were like, you are an icon. And I was like, okay, I'll have that. So yeah, I suppose I've always been, I don't know, maybe I've just been a little bit too shy to admit that I really own my place as an icon in that world. I never saw Sporty as being camp, but then I've been, you know, I've been put in my place. I'm probably one of the most camp Spice Girls.
So camp, but that's part of being camp sometimes, is not even knowing it. It's just existing.
Totally. Just being. Yeah. You kind of, you know, you girls really gave me, this just sounds so crazy after all these years, but you know this. You gave me the courage to really own being me. You know, I always felt apologetic. I always felt like there was, you know, we all feel this, right? This is something we all experience. You're not good enough. You don't deserve it. You're not, you know, somebody else is responsible for the success or for the affiliation to a community and all these different things. And it was like, you made me realize that that's bullshit. And I totally own it now. So
yes,
I can never thank you all enough.
The power of drag. Think the Pink, well done. Actually, I was noticing in, what song is it? In Overload, there is a little line that says, I don't want to be your acceptable version of me. Is that a cheeky little Easter egg back to previous moments in time, or is that just an accident?
No, it totally is. I love to include, whether it's lyrics or, you know, song titles within songs. And yeah, I mean, read between those lines, girlfriend.
Exactly. Yes, people are commenting that they love Overload. It really is. It's such a great album. Thank you for saving 2020 with us with that. And actually, I mean, so what's happening now? Because you've had to cancel the tour, but you've rescheduled it. Is that right? When are we going to get to see you on tour in action?
Yeah. So we have managed to reschedule. Unfortunately, it's way in advance, which might be a good thing considering how many times I'm having to move this frigging thing.
Right.
So right now the tour dates are January, February 22. And I do have some festivals booked actually for this summer. I know lots of artists are booked for certain festivals. Whether they're going to go ahead, what the restrictions are going to be, we are yet to find out. But I feel confident, and you know, maybe it's the optimist in me that likes to think we'll be on stage at some point this year.
Yes. So let's talk about The Voice Kids. This is exciting.
Yeah.
Has it started yet, or when is it coming on the TV?
Okay, so I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to give away,
okay.
But obviously it has been announced that I am a judge, a coach. We call them coaches on The Voice. And yes, Paloma, God bless her, is about to have a baby. So couldn't fulfill her role this season, and very kindly has lent me her chair. And I just absolutely love it. We did some filming at the weekend and everybody's wonderful. The kids are amazing, so inspiring, so talented, so wise. It was, I think the overall feeling of the few days we were together was like, I think we're in quite good hands moving forward. You know, the future of the world is in pretty good hands.
Okay,
so we felt very, really positive. And then working with will.i.am, Pixie Lott, Danny Jones, absolute, so brilliant at what they do and so lovely. So I just immediately felt part of the family. So I'm very excited to continue this journey. And yeah, that airs at Christmas time, so it's a while away yet.
What's like Coach Melanie going to be like?
Well, you know, as you know, I have a little girl, well, not so little anymore. She's nearly bigger than me. But I think I kind of offer a little bit of a maternal role. You know, I'm one of the more mature coaches, shall we say. I kind of feel maternal over everybody.
That's cute.
Well, I think I've always been like that. Even back in the bands, back in the day, I looked after Baby Spice quite a
lot. Baby Spice, Mummy Spice.
Yeah, totally.
How old were you when you became famous? Like 18, 19?
No, do you know what? I was a little bit older actually. So I met the girls in '94. That's when we auditioned, and Wannabe was released in '96. So I was 22.
I remember it well.
Yeah, which doesn't seem that young. You know, when you think of a lot of artists, you know, obviously you get kids out there, but 19, 20. I mean, Emma, I think Emma was 19. But yeah, looking back, I was so young. And I think also it was a very different time. You know, I look at kids now and I think obviously with things like social media, they're exposed to so much more, especially city kids. This is what I'm learning as well. Like my daughter has, you know, born and bred in London, and she's pretty grown up and pretty savvy. And then you'll meet some kids from different regions and they're still children, you know, so it's interesting to see see how things affect people differently.
How do you think that you would cope if you became famous now, like in the social media age, like, because obviously it must be so different having done that in the 90s to now.
Yeah. I don't think I'd hack it. I don't think I'd survive. I think it's
hard, isn't it?
It's brutal. I mean, obviously, as one gets older, there are certain things when you think, oh, you know, I wish I looked and felt younger. But I'm definitely glad I've lived the life I've lived, you know, that I was able to be a child and not have a phone and, you know, get up to mischief without iPhones, photographing everything. So yeah, I do feel for kids today. They're a very, very, you know, different generation growing up.
I feel the same. I can barely hack it now, darling, the fame that I've got. So I don't know how these young kids are doing it.
It's hardcore. It's hardcore.
Have you seen Mel B on The Masked Singer?
Oh my gosh. I'm obsessed with The Masked Singer, right? And I love it. When it first came out, I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, how many drugs were the people on that invented this show?
For real.
And I was like, I'm not watching it. Anyway, like everyone, I got totally drawn in and loved it. And like this season, being in lockdown, I've been glued to it. But the week Mel was on, I wasn't watching for some reason, doing some Zoom or something. And someone texted me. And then, so I went back and watched it knowing it was her. But I was like so impressed because I was still a bit like, is it her? And she's so defined in her mannerisms as well as her voice. I thought she did a pretty good job of hiding herself. But she got found out.
Well, I mean, that voice as well. It was like crystal clear. I'm used to scary spice.
Yeah.
And that was like,
yeah, I know. It was so different for her, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was amazing. So brave to do that show. And I tell you, like, everyone was telling me that sausage was Joss. And I've worked with Joss. And I was like, it isn't. It's not her. She's had a baby. It's not her. And it was. And I just thought, wow. I thought, what a good sport she was for doing that. I'm so glad she won. Yeah.
Would you like to be a coach, a little judge on there one day, maybe?
Do you know what? It's a really good panel, isn't it? I thought Mo was amazing this year. I loved Davina and Jonathan, of course, and you know, and Rita. It's a good dynamic, yeah. And the guest judges, yeah.
Miss Davina. Oh, obviously, Spice Girls. That was going great for so long, and then how did the opportunity come about for you to go solo? And was it okay with the other girls when that happened for you? Or was it something like...
That's such a good question. I've never been asked that, actually.
Oh.
So we were together. We did 2 albums, 2 #1 albums, as you mentioned in your intro. We did our movie, and then it was time to head out on tour. And we toured Europe for 3 months, and we had 2 shows left to go. And we were flying back to perform at the National Lottery. We released Viva Forever, and Jerry didn't turn up. And we got a phone call to tell us that she was leaving, which was a huge shock to us all.
Right.
And at first we thought, oh, she's just having a little bit of a moment. She'll be back. She'll be back. But she wasn't. And then we were absolutely petrified because we had a 3-month tour of the US booked.
Yeah.
And we didn't, obviously, you know, we'd been booked as a 5-piece and we didn't know whether we get like loads of returns, whether we'd be able to do it, whether the promoters would be happy with the four of us. Anyway, luckily it worked out and we had a really successful US tour. But on that tour, Melanie and Victoria fell pregnant. Actually quite early on the tour as well. So we knew once we got back to the UK, we needed to have a break anyway because we were all exhausted. But then with the girls having the babies, it kind of gave us this extra little, you know, time to chill or go make a solo record. And yeah, for various reasons, you know, some good, some not so good, I went over and went to live in LA for a few months and started to work on the album. And it was amazing because, you know, being part of something so huge just opens you up to these opportunities to work with the most incredible songwriters and producers that the world has. So that was an amazing experience and gave me a lot of confidence to go on and be a solo artist as well as a Spice Girl.
Well, what an album it was. What an album it was. I have to say, you were Gaga before Gaga was Gaga, so...
Exactly. Such a great tune, that. I love that. Yeah, that was... So a little bit of trivia for you. So that particular song was written with a guy called Phil Thornalley. And Phil Thornalley also wrote Torn, Natalie Imbruglia's big single.
Amazing.
Yeah. I love coming with the facts. I'm like a regular little pub quiz over here.
Yeah. So what kind of advice would you give to yourself? Like, what advice would you give to young Melanie, knowing everything that you know now?
Get yourself some therapy, girl. I would say, you know, and this is something I talk about quite a lot, I don't think there's enough support for young artists. Obviously, young people, as we've mentioned, are under so much more pressure now. You know, it seems like there are so many different avenues to becoming famous, you know, in the public eye. There's a lot to come to terms with, really. You know, it doesn't only affect you, it affects all the people around you. And it doesn't really change you, but it changes how everybody treats you. And I think it's, as a young person, it's really hard. I mean, even with, you know, we had each other. Us girls were experiencing the same thing at the same time. But I think everybody deals with things slightly differently. So I wish I'd had, maybe just some professional help to kind of avoid some of the hurdles that were in the way.
So going from good advice to just vice, we want to know, what's the wildest pop star party that you've ever been to?
Okay. There's one that stands out, and it is Courtney Love's. I'm going to say, what birthday was it? I don't want to age her badly or wrong, but we were in LA. It was '98. We were on tour, and it was a big birthday. Do you reckon that was her? Was it? It couldn't have been her 40th, could it? No, it must have been her 30th.
Yeah,
it must have been her 30th. It was like '98. It must have been. Quick Google check, someone.
Yeah.
How else is Courtney Love in 1998? And so we rocked up to this party in Hollywood, and Drew Barrymore and Cameron Diaz were like hanging out with Winona Ryder, and they saw us girls and they got so excited and come running over, and they were like, "Oh my God, we do you. We're the Spice Girls, like when we get together." And we were like, okay, this is weird. This is surreal. And it was kind of wall to wall, just amazing people. And what an incredible experience.
If you end up as a costume, then you're absolutely like, that's the top. You can't get any more famous.
Absolutely. I think it's like the costume and the doll, right? That's the top two.
Yeah, exactly.
Tick.
Yeah. And you've got them, so boom. Who's the nicest famous person?
Oh my gosh, there's lots. Two like proper legendary icons spring to mind. Lionel Richie.
Oh my God, amazing.
And Celine Dion.
Oh! She's got to be nice, hasn't she? She's got to.
I think they're the two people that spring to mind because I remember them giving us advice when we met them, you know, like kind of in the crazy days. Okay. And I mean, wow, we've met like so many like idols, you know, like those pinch me moments.
Mhm.
So many of them. I remember meeting Madonna for the first time. And I remember getting a phone call. We'd just come off tour actually, and I was in New York. I was then at the Four Seasons, and my phone went in my room, and somebody said, "Oh, hey, I've got Madonna for you on the line," and I thought it was one of the girls sticking around, right? And I was like, "Yeah," and she went, "Hey, sweetie."
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, so some crazy opportunities and, you know, moments came up through being a Spice Girl, definitely.
One time I was in the audience at CDUK and the Spice Girls were performing Holla.
Oh my God!
And I remember it, obviously, of course, psychopath. I remember it like it was yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was Baby was wearing a t-shirt that said, "I love snogging," right? And Mel B was like, "Oh, Baby loves snogging. Who wants to come on stage and snog Baby?" And like nobody like really knew she was being serious except for me, who at the back of the room was like, "Yeah!" Right. Mel B comes down into the crowd, grabs my hand, pulls me up on stage, and she's like, "Go on then, snog Baby." So I basically was like, "I'm not up here for no reason, honey." I grabbed Baby, I grabbed Melanie, I grabbed you, I grabbed Victoria, and Victoria was like, and I just kissed you all, and then I ran off the stage. I didn't even know what the hell I was doing. And I literally was just like, "I'm there on the Spice Girls."
So how old were you then?
God, probably
So Holla
embarrassingly
must have
like
been about
16 or
2000, I think.
I think I was 16. Literally like acting like a 10-year-old, but still love it.
That's brilliant. Do you know what's so funny? I do remember having a t-shirt that says "I love snogging" on it.
Oh my God, there we go. That was the one. Thank you for that moment because it brought us together. Our first little jaunt.
Yeah, you see, it was destiny.
And actually talking about, you know, obviously like Victoria, did you all miss her when she wasn't on the tour? Would you have liked her to have been there? I know she didn't want to and it was all good, but like they must have been like, "I wish she would."
Yeah, of course. You know, I kind of said for years I wouldn't do it unless it was 5, because I just feel like, you know, the Spice Girls is so special. Obviously, we did the 4 back in the day when Jerry left, but that was kind of, we didn't really have a choice. Do you know what I mean? That was just kind of circumstances. But when we came back together in 2007, it was all 5, and then when we were planning the stadium tours, yeah, we were devout. We were hoping she would change her mind. And, you know, Mel B's a little bit psychic, and she'd say, "She's definitely going to be, you know, she's going to do it. She's going to change her mind. She's going to change her mind." So I think we all had a little hope in our hearts that she would turn around and be up for it. But you know what? As we've said so many times, we get it. Do you know what I mean? We've got to this point now in our lives where we truly respect each other. You know, back in the day we might have given each other a hard time, but now we're all mums, we're all grown-ups, and this is what I always say to the girls, right? The most wonderful thing about the Spice Girls is that we're all different, and the worst thing about the Spice Girls is that we're all different. So sometimes it's really hard, you know, it's hard for us to all want the same thing at the same time.
Yeah, totally.
But wouldn't change them for the world.
Quick fire round. Elani Brazil has asked, "What's your best memory of the Sao Paulo Gay Pride Parade?"
Oh my gosh, how amazing was that? One is when you girls, my drag queens, were my security, going through the crowd to get up onto the float. And then the second one, remember we had our little talk, didn't we? And I said, "Look, this is going to be over in a flash." And I said, "Take it in, take it all in. Look at each other, look at the crowd." And I took my own advice as well. And we went out, when we did 2 Become 1, we went to the front of the float. There's amazing drone footage. Actually, it's on my Instagram account. And I had pride flag, you know, around my shoulders. And I looked out and I literally thought, because I'd only like played Wembley about a week before this. And I looked out and I thought, yeah, this is on a par with Wembley.
I know. It must be hard to even come anywhere near to that. So,
I mean, Brazil, for Spice Girls fans, and Brazil is just, you know, those people know how to have a good time, don't
They just? Oh my
and we
God.
witnessed that. And then afterwards, when we were just dancing and just, we had a great time, didn't we?
It was great, wasn't it? We were just stayed on the float, going through the city. It was amazing.
It was amazing.
What would you say has been your most daring performance or role so far? And that's from Amelia Harris.
Oh wow, daring performance or oh well, I did a bit of snogging in a video once, didn't I? And I was very proud of myself because I'm a little bit self-conscious about things like that. I've always enjoyed a little bit of acting, but I've always thought, oh, I just couldn't do the sex scenes because like my dad would be watching. And then I can't remember what year it was. I was single, which was probably a good thing. But I did a duet with Matt Cardle.
With Matt Cardle,
and,
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and we snogged in the video. So I was very proud of myself for being a big girl and not chickening out.
Did you use tongues?
Well, this is the thing, right? I'd never like acted kissing, so I just did what you do. And then afterwards, he said in an interview, "Oh yeah, because you know when you're acting and you don't," and I was like, "No one bloody told me, did they?" But it was realistic, darling.
It was very realistic. Oscar,
yeah.
Oscar winning. Oh, what artist are you currently listening to? What does your Spotify look like at the moment?
Yeah, what does my Spotify look like? That's a good question. I do my little SoundCloud mixes and stuff every month, so I'm always listening out for new stuff, and I'm loving that there's quite a lot of like rave influence in dance music and house music right now, and even a lot of drum and bass is coming into it as well. Diplo's always dropping great stuff, and Love Regenerator, which is a Calvin Harris project, is really, really great. But on the pop side of things, because I love my pop music, can Dua Lipa do anything bad? You know, she could literally just sing the phone book and I would be happy. Put a little, you know, put a great bit in it. I was shooting the other day and we had a really fun playlist on, and there was just songs you forget about. I'm loving Olo Parks. I'm really loving her, and I was recently lucky enough to be in Celeste's video just before Christmas. Yeah, Love Is Back, and I met her at the Royal Variety performance, and we just really hit it off, and yeah, she invited me to do her video, and I think she's really exciting and, you know, quite different to anything else out there.
What is the ultimate pop song to you?
Well, the ultimate pop song, it's got to be Wannabe, hasn't it? You know, personally, not being biased in any way, but for me, like, it's those songs that kind of punctuate your life that are like nothing else. You know, I think of songs like, it's so funny actually, I don't know why today I was thinking about Republica, and do you remember Ready to Go?
Yeah.
And I'm standing on the rooftop shouting it out. I think it's because it's the Brits, isn't it? It would have been the Brits at the moment, right now, February. And yeah, I remember the Brits in 1997. So it was when we came home and the Union Jack dress and everything, and we were jumping up and down to Republica in our dressing room. So it's little moments like that that make me think of like ultimate pop tunes.
I first heard Wannabe when I was coming home from church in the car.
I heard that.
Oh, did you hear that? And literally, I started worshipping at a new altar after that, darling. Actually, I need to show you my shoes because you haven't seen these yet.
Oh, amazing! Amazing! Because back in the day, Jerry, I think it might have even been in the Pepsi commercial, was it? When she had the buffaloes on and she wrote Jerry on it.
She wrote Jerry.
Yeah, amazing.
Once a Spice Boy, always a Spice Boy.
Absolutely, forever and ever.
Always including, you know, the gay boys in everything. We always felt like part of it. You know, there was the Spice Girls, but we always felt like the Spice Boys as well.
Yeah. Well, when we first got together as a band, like we just thought about wanting to sing and dance and be famous and travel the world and do all these things. And then quite quickly, we realised that it was a really sexist industry we were entering into.
Right.
And we thought, we actually have to be a girl band for girls, because they kept saying, oh, girls, only girls buy records, buy boys, and we were like, sod that, we are girls and we're doing this for the girls.
Yeah.
But then quite quickly we realized that we had a big gay following as well, so girl power became people power really quickly, and then just that inclusivity has just become so important to us. And then by the second album, when we released Spice World, we traveled so much and we'd experienced so much that we realized how important, like, the individuality and our music and how colourful we were and how silly we were, you know, was a really important way of bringing people together and bridging gaps.
Yeah, it was literally just such a good time, and I feel like, you know, it just looked like you were all having such a good time, and it made us all want to have a good time. It was good times, wasn't it?
It was kind of infectious, wasn't it? And I think
totally.
that's what I enjoyed so much about going back in 2019, because, you know, back in the day, I've always been the one who's like, you know, cracking the whip a little bit. You know, they all like make fun of me because I'm the one who makes everybody do the vocal warm-ups and, you know,
Right.
rehearse a little bit longer and all of those things. But then back in 2019, I was able to relax, and I used to get cross when people went wrong. But now I realise that the Spice Girls going wrong is actually part of the Spice Girls.
So
you
the
know?
Spice Girls, exactly.
It's part of the appeal. So I relished in going wrong.
That's also very drag. It's like, we have a saying at Sync the Pink that is that people prefer it when we're shit.
Yeah, tell me, you don't want to over rehearse. You don't want to be too
No,
polished.
darling. Much better when you're a bit shit. Would you ever do a collab with Kylie? The question is here from William Robert. Would you collab with Kylie?
Hell yeah, who wouldn't? I
instant.
love Kylie, absolutely adore Kylie. Fantastic pop star, great music, and lovely woman. So yeah, 100%, I'm there.
Perfect. Well, there we go. Just
yeah, hook me up.
Please. Oh my God, could you imagine 2021 if you and Kylie collaborated?
The gays might explode.
Absolutely. I was just going to say it would just be game over for everything. We wouldn't be able to continue. What's your favourite Emma Bunton song? This is from Basti.
Oh, that is a good question, actually. Well, maybe I think it's her biggest hit, and it's just so fun. The choreo and the video is brilliant.
Such a good video.
But yeah, I think her first album, there's loads of lovely songs on there. Obviously, us girls, when we're together, we are one thing, but then as individuals, we're quite different. And she really has like a little 60s feel on a lot of the stuff that she does, which I just think really suits her.
Right, Charlotte Burrows wants you to describe your fans in one word.
Oh my goodness. I have to say, it's really funny, right? Working in music and working with people who've worked with lots of artists. Everybody says, nobody's as crazy as Spice Girls fans, right? And of course I don't know, because I only know Spice Girls fans. But the one thing I do know is they are loyal. And they, you know, they're not only loyal to myself and the other girls, they're loyal to each other. They're a really supportive community, and I'm so proud of them. And I know there's been romances, marriages, best friends, lots of people have met, you know, babies, lots of things have happened through being fans of the Spice Girls. So I'm always really touched and really proud when I hear those stories.
Yeah, that is amazing. Yeah. That is so cute. Okay, so were the rumours about Glastonbury real?
No.
Or is it going to be the Spice Girls?
Oh! No, never been asked. No, and obviously we'd kill to do it.
Right.
Would absolutely love to play Glasgow, but we've never been approached. So
well, there we go.
Maybe if it happens next year, let's start a petition.
Yeah, come on, let's get on change.org.
Yeah.
So the final question is, it's brilliant. Which, it's quite shady, I think.
Is it?
Of your songs or any of the Spice Girls songs would you be happy to never sing again?
Oh, that's easy. Well, I'm not going to pick anyone else's. Spice Girls. I could. I've got a list. I probably will never sing On the Horizon again. No disrespect, it's a great song, but it's just not really. I'm not really feeling it.
Okay.
And the other one, which we did on tour in 2019, and like we never got the words right, and yeah, I couldn't wait until it was over every night. Was Do It. Come on and do it. Don't care how you look, it's just how you feel. Come on and do it. So yeah, I'd quite happily swerve that one for the rest of time.
Really? Oh my God. Okay. So that's it. On the Horizon and Do It. You're done. I'll take. Could I put in a request for at some point in the future, because this is one of my favourites. I think that we should hear at some point Little Piece of Me.
Oh wow,
I love that song.
Yeah, that's a great album actually. So that's on Beautiful Intentions, is it?
Yes.
It was one of my more rocky moments, wasn't it?
Oh my God, it's such a good moment. Please bring it back. Well, that's all the questions. Thank you so much for being here, babe. Like, it's been, well, time's gone so quickly. I don't even know what time it is.
I know.
Fabulous to see you. And I hope that we can hang out together soon, really.
I know. Thank you so much. Sending you lots of love, and everyone out there, thank you for your amazing questions. And please, everybody, stay safe, stay well, and we will be together soon. Soon.